shouldn't be drinking Coke. I should be drinking water. Hello, Scarlett. How are you? ¿Cómo estamos? How are you doing? Oh, shoot. It's already 9. How are you tonight? Is it cold where you are? Did it freeze? That's good that you're doing good. Well, it got cold here where I am. It got cold, but thank God, we were fine. No pipes burst, no, we were not without the internet went out for a little bit, but I think it was like 20 minutes. I don't think it was more than 20 minutes. And we were okay. It wasn't that bad here where we are. Same here, thank God. Great. Yeah, I feel bad for the people that are like Louisiana, todo para allá. Like, there's a lot of people without electricity, and then it's so cold. Russia, I saw videos of Russia earlier, and I was like, wow. Hi, Alexis. How are you? How are you doing? Did it get very cold where you are? ¿Se puso muy frío o no? Here it wasn't. Sí estaba frío, but I had the heater on. You missed the summer, so you're not a winter person. Yes, sí se puso. It was cold here in the valley. We didn't get any snow. Yes, I was seeing like Georgia, Louisiana, Tennessee, already 4 days without electricity. Wow, and they say that it's going to take some time to get the electricity back. I was watching the news. It just came back and it was still cold. Sí, nos vemos de ir así como para Punta Cana. No sé, para Yucatán. Allá no se sentía el frío aquí, like, oh my God, it was so cold. Ahora sí estuvo bien frío. I brought my plants in. I barely took them out this morning. I have to do like a little, I haven't washed my patio, so todavía tengo frío para agarrar la agua para lavar el patio. So hopefully tomorrow ya esté más calientito, and I can wash my front patio, porque I haven't washed it like in a week and a half. Nomás lo he barrido. I haven't like used soap and water and you could hear that tree snapping. Wow. Yes, se puso muy frío. This Arctic freeze was bad. It affected a lot of people. They don't have. Aquí nomás único que se fue el internet, but I don't think it was gone more than 20 minutes. The internet. But that was about it. Thank God, no electricity. The phones, nada así, nada. Mire quién está aquí, Miss Velda. Aquí te está esperando. No quiere, está enojado contigo. Te volteó la cara. Está enojado. Pelea con Miss Vilda. Te enojado, te volteó la cara. No, no do that. Él es bueno, él es el bebé. Ana Beth. I hope I don't mess up your name, but hello, thank you for being here. How are you doing? Is it cold where you are, Annabelle? Or what was? I'm sorry. What was the name? Porque Miss Velda es bien malo con él. Ana, hello, how you doing? Is it cold where you are? Did you get the freeze also or no? Yes, it's mad at Miss Velda because Miss Velda is mean to him. So le volteó la cara. I'm calling the dog catcher. Well, it's okay because he's a cat. This is not a dog. Like que take Naruto. Ay, ese Naruto como batalla con él, como repelado con él, con ese Naruto, like, ay, Naruto. No sé con quién repelo más, si con Ano o con. Today my nanito was, he melted my heart. I stepped out. Yes, that's Ultra Bebé. Es el Ultra Bebé. Está rumidito, bonito el bebé. Yes, that's Bebé. Today I stepped out to the... No tan feo, está hermoso mi bebé. Él es el más hermoso. He's the only boy. Well, Naruto, he's a dog. But he's the only boy cat. I had to step out to the store today, and before I left a washer. He needs a shower. Anda así como tierrocío. I need to shower him. This is his tail. That's Ultra Bebe's tail. I left some clothes in the washer, and I get a phone call from. I have like ringtones for my son and my daughters, so I know that it's him because I get a lot of scam calls. So if my kids are calling me, I have a ringtone for them, and I hear that Nanito's calling me, right? And I'm like, you know what? Maybe he forgot to tell me he wanted something, or hopefully nothing like bad happened, right? The provider was here and everything. And he calls me and he says, Mom, yeah, I think I'm going to do it with wipes. Por eso no lo he bañado, because it's too cold to shower. Después se me va a enfermar mi bebé. Le van a doler sus esquinitas. He can get strep throat or cough or something. He says, Mom, there's clothes in the washer. Do I put it in the dryer? And I said, well, if you want to, puppy, you can help me out and put it in the dryer for me. And he says, okay, do I put 30 minutes or do I put 40 minutes? And I said, go ahead and put 40 minutes, puppy. So when I come back, I'm getting the stuff off the car. And he goes, oh, look, I already dried the clothes and I already put it here for you. So he had put it in the middle of the living room. In the middle of the living room, he had put the hamper with the clean clothes, but he didn't fold it. So ya se imaginan, like it was arrugada la ropa, but I put it back in the dryer for a little bit, and then I took it out and I folded it again. But it's like, oh, like que he thought, like, he saw that there was clothes in the washer, so he's like, oh, let me put it to dry, because my mom is not here. Let me put it to dry. And for him to, nobody told him, he did it by himself. For him to have done that, I was like, oh, mi bebe, like he did it all by himself. Nobody had to tell him to put the clothes in the dryer. So he's learning. I messaged his teacher, and I told him, because they give him life skills at school, and one of the things they're learning is like to put clothes to wash, to put them to dry, like sort out clothes and stuff. And I messaged them and I told them that Nathaniel had put the clothes in the dryer, that I had left some clothes in the washer, and Nathaniel had put it in the dryer for me. And he even knew, like, how he said, do I put it 30 minutes or do I put it 40 minutes? Like, he even knew how many minutes, like, he wasn't exactly sure, like, which ones, but he already knew, like, how many minutes to put it and stuff like that. So yeah, today my nanito, I was like, oh, my baby, he already learning, and he's already wanting to do like stuff by himself. And that makes me proud. He wants me to teach him how to like make rice. He wants to learn how to make like papas fritas, stuff like that. But I am not ready for that. I am not ready because, one, I have brand new pants. Brand new pens that I do not want to get messed up, and I want to enjoy them. And two, because like, I wouldn't want to, like, no sé, like, let's say one day me quedo dormida and he wakes up, está haciendo, bacon and egg, or like, I wouldn't, yo bien dormidota y él haciéndose de comer. So I'm not ready. The only thing he's allowed right now, and also with me knowing about it, is to use an air fryer. That's the only thing he's allowed to use for right now. And my daughter, she's a girl, y esa le vale. She doesn't want to learn todavía. No quiere ni saber cómo se guisa un huevo ni nada. So they're really different. Both of them are very different. But I'm very, very happy, and I'm very thankful to God to have kids. I know people tell, oh, she has retarded kids, or no, they're not. They're autistic. And I'm very blessed, and I'm to have had my children to be autistic, because they have helped me see the world in a different way that we don't see it. Like, we don't stop and appreciate little things like they do. I am very happy. I don't know if I've ever shared the he's no longer my doctor. What one of my doctors had told me when they found out that I was pregnant with Nathaniel. I don't know if I had shared it. When I had my daughter, I had lost a child before my daughter. He was only alive for 3 days, and he was born premature. And I thought I wasn't going to be able to have any more kids. Like, I had, they had told me, like, no vas a, it's going to be very difficult, and I didn't want to be going through the process and then que I would have a miscarriage, or that something that would happen, and it was just going to break me to pieces. So yo ya me había hecho to the idea that my nieces and nephews were going to be my babies, and I was going to give them all my love and all my, I already had my oldest daughter, como quiera. And when they told me that I was pregnant with my baby, I couldn't believe it. I was so happy. And of course, the doctors right away, they're like, you're going to be considered a high risk. There was no OBGYN that wanted to take me here in the Valley. No OBG wanted to get me as their patient, because they knew how big of a red flag I was, or high risk I was. So my PA, she talked to a friend of hers in Houston, and she said she's gonna. I'm sure she'll see you, but I would have to go to Houston. So when I met her, she was really nice. She took, she said, yes, you're considered a risk, high risk, and but I'll take you as a patient. Of course, she said as soon as I would be getting closer to delivering, I was gonna have to stay in Houston like the last 7 months, because just to be on the safe side. So I had already made arrangements with my family that I was gonna have to stay there for the last few months before I gave birth, and my mom would take me to my appointments in Houston, and well, we also saw a midwife. She's no longer alive. She passed away a couple of years. So she, in case anything that I needed anything, the midwife was gonna see me, but she was gonna, she was with my doctor, with my OBG from Houston. They would communicate, and they would, just in case I got sick or something. When I was gonna turn, if they would have left me a couple more hours, I would have been 34 weeks. So I got sick. I got so sick, and they were getting ready to fly me by helicopter back to Houston, because I was real sick, and I needed to be delivered, emergency C-section, and it didn't happen. I had to stay here in Harlingen. Doctor, this doctor, not the midwife, the doctor, well, he had to deliver me, emergency C-section, and I almost lost my life, and my daughter almost lost her life. She was in the NICU for 6 weeks. And it was hard. It was very scary what I went through. So then a few months go by, right? And then I find out I'm pregnant again. And I didn't know it was a boy, but I knew I was pregnant again. And when I told this doctor, I told him I'm pregnant again, he told me I needed to have an abortion. That my son was not gonna be healthy, and that I was a high risk, and that more than likely this time I would lose my life, and I would probably end up leaving behind 2 children. And I got so mad when he told me that, because I wasn't expecting a doctor to tell me to have an abortion. And I remember I got up and I told him, oh, okay, that's fine. I said, I am not having an abortion. My faith in God that I'll be okay and my baby will be okay is hi, Mr. Lupe. No, and I walked out. I walked out, and then I called my regular doctor, and I told them, I need to find me another doctor, because he told me this, and I'm not going back. And I was able to get to 7 months for me, because they didn't want to take a chance anymore. And my son, like I shared with you today, él solito said he wanted to put the clothes in the dryer. He took it out, he dried it. I am very blessed to have the son that I have. I am very blessed to have the two daughters that I have. Yes, they're autistic, but they're very special people. They help me see things that I wouldn't see before. Um, like you in the morning, yo no salía, guys. I don't know if you would do it, but I did it. I wouldn't come out in the morning and say, "Oh, look, the moon is on this side," today, or the moon came out. Now it's over here. I don't even check if there's a moon out or not. And with them, it's like, oh, look, the moon, and yesterday was over here, and look, it's over here. Like, they help me stop and see things. Also, like when we were watching movies or something, like I see the movie and I'm like, oh, esto, and then they see something totally different. Y me quedo, I get amazed, like the way, like, yeah, you're right. Like, oh yeah. They're very special to me. Both of my children are very, very, very special, and I couldn't imagine my life without them. I hope and I pray que Dios me los deje muchos años y que siga like learning from them. My daughter is like, to me, this is red. My daughter's no. Oh, that's apple red, no sé qué color, no sé qué color. Or to me, it's like, oh, this is turquoise. Oh no, that's not turquoise. That is, like a coral, que sabe qué, no sé qué. And it was like the way they see stuff and the way they do things. Porque a veces también, like, I grab it, y ellos, like, a ellos se les hace más fácil de otra manera. I'm like, why didn't I ever think of doing that way? Like, the way they just did it. So every day I learn something with them. I learn a lot from my kids. Like I said, yes, they're autistic, but they're very special, and I learn a lot from them. Like every day, me enseñan algo. And if people say that my kids are retarded, well, I feel sorry for that person, porque está más retardada esa persona que mis hijos. Porque nunca van a poder ni tener un little pelito de la inteligencia that my kids have. I also have a nephew that is autistic, and también he amazes me every day. Nathaniel, like he loves Legos, and like I see him like build stuff like that, and a él bien fácil, like yo muy apenas puedo hacer una tower con los Legos, and he makes all these stuff and all these shapes and stuff with Legos. No, I'm not crying. And like Nanito with the Legos is like, I love seeing the same thing with my daughter when she draws. Like right now, we're talking about mayors that Ms. Valdez, and of course I'm 100. I'm not from Mercedes, so I cannot vote, but of course I'm gonna be there campaigning and behind Ms. Valdez, cheering her on. Talking about mayors, right now my daughter is working, and I'll share it with you, and I'll probably post it when she's done. The mayor was really nice to us, and my daughter is doing a drawing. Excuse me. So that's why I don't like to have dinner muy tarde, because then I'm burping. And we just had dinner because my niece came to fix my camera. I was having issues with my camera, and she came to fix it, and I told her, if you come and fix my cameras, I'll cook dinner for you. And one of her favorite food is enchiladas. So I made enchiladas for her. And pues de aquí que hice todo and everything, food came out like around 9. So we ate a little bit late. So now I'm burping and burping. But back to my daughter is making a picture for us to go take to the mayor, and I'll share it with you once she's done. Like the way they draw, like, and a lot of people have told me, oh, she copies it, oh, she has something in the bottom and then she just traces it. No, she does it like ella solita. Ella agarra el sketch pad y empieza, and Anito with the Legos, with the games. I don't know how to play like Nintendo, none of that. I don't know, but like me quedo con él surprised because he's like, oh wait, you want me to connect you to notes? And I go, no, papi, just do it the regular way. Yo no sé, no, because we can connect and we can do this and we can play with this person, we can play with that person. He plays he was a friend of his. He was a student here also, but last year he moved half of the semester. He moved to New York, and they still play games to get like they play on that thing. What's it called? Nintendo Switch, and like cómo le hace para saber cómo conectarse, how to look for him, so see if he's on. Like me quedo like sorprendida con él, like with Nathaniel. But I'm very blessed to have my daughters, and my son, and no me arrepiento de haber that I didn't listen to that doctor that said, oh, ahora sí te vas a morir, yo que tú abortara, ahora sí vas a perder la vida y vas a dejar dos criaturas sin una madre. And I was like, este señor, I was never expecting for him to say that. But yeah, and the reason why his name is what it is, because my favorite book from the Bible is Job. Because I love how God took everything away from Job. Lo dejó sin nada. Sin nada. Even his wife would tell him que daba lástima, que mejor que se matara, que se quitara la vida. And Job, él tuvo su fe fuerte y siempre confió en Dios, que Dios iba a estar con él y lo iba a ayudar. So, su fe fue tan grande. So my favorite book is Job. And at the end of towards the end of the book, he says that he was blessed with everything. He had a lot of cattle, he had land, he had 3 beautiful daughters, and he was blessed, with another wife and everything. Y así es mi fe. God puts me through so many things, and I've been through so many things. Y yo no sé por qué esta gente, like, I don't know if you all remember, but I was thrown in the street with nothing. And it was hard. But here I am again. So, ¿qué me pueden quitar que me pueda doler? Si ya lo he perdido todo y he vuelto de nuevo, he empezado de nuevo, he empezado de cero. So, no tengo miedo a empezar de nuevo. Ya lo hice una vez, lo podría hacer una vez más. And that's why my son's middle name is Job. Because of that, of el libro de Job. And my daughter's middle name is Faith. And because my faith, mi fe fue muy grande. I knew that my faith, yo tenía esa fe en Dios de que Él me iba a dejar vivir y me iba a dejar a mi niña. We're going to be together 16 years in May. My daughter's turning 16, and she's getting ready to start driver's ed, to get her license. She's already go this year. She said she was supposed to go to the University of Illinois, Michigan, and Milwaukee, I think. This year, remember last year, I was doing raffles to pay for my daughter's trip. This year, she didn't want to go. So she's not going. I think Nanito is going. So, yeah, I'm going to have to start getting his stuff in order. Y she's getting ready to pick a college. She's getting ready. I tell her I would like for her to leave the valley and go to a college outside the valley. Pero pues we'll see. We'll see what God has in store for her, and what God has for us. But I'm very blessed to have the children that I have. All three of them. All three of my children, I'm very blessed. And then I love all my nieces and nephews. I was talking to my niece earlier when I was cooking, and she was trying to get the camera connected. We were talking about when she was little, and she was 3 years old when I got diagnosed with lupus, and I was very, very sick. I would spend most of my time in the hospital. I was more in the hospital than at the house. And at that time, we all lived with my parents, my brother and my sister-in-law, and her, and my other brother and my other sister-in-law. They lived there in my parents' house. And that time we lived in Wesco. And it was so funny because she would come in the house, my niece, she would come in the house and she would go into my room and she would see if I was in bed, like como que ella sabía that I wasn't feeling well. So she would just come and she would just sit next to me or lay down next to me and would ask me like, oh, can we watch Sleeping Beauty, or can we watch this or that movie or cartoons? And she would just lay there and just be there laying down with me. But if she would come in and she would see that I was up and moving, that I was in the kitchen, or that I was, doing something, she like como que ella sabía that I was feeling well. And she was like, oh, que le pusiera music, que me pusiera a bailar con ella. Her very first words were Ana. Instead of mom, dad, food, papa, or whatever, her very first words were Ana. And so we were remembering those times a while ago when she was here. We were talking about those times. And I really think that she was a blessing in my life, because when I first got diagnosed, I went through so much, and I think que ella fue la que me ayudó, like to cope with everything that I was going through, to cope with all the stuff that I needed to get done so I could be well. Whoever knows about spinal tabs, they were so hard. They were so hard. And I would have to have spinal taps every 6 weeks. And if I wouldn't have them, I would go blind. I would lose my vision, because my brain would swell up with water, and that I would lose my vision. And it happened in two occasions. In two occasions, I lost my vision. As soon as they would take that water out of my brain, then slowly, like by the second, third day, I would, be able to see. I would start getting my vision back slowly. But I remember like those, oh my God, one time they took out more water than what they were supposed to. And I got so sick. I was so sick. A huge, the worst headache that you can imagine. They had to put blood. They had to do a blood transfusion. and it was so bad that time. I remember. Oh, and then well, they put that big old needle on your back, and then they drained the water. It was bad. But I'm glad that I haven't had to do that anymore. But I think that thanks to my niece, I went through all that. Y ella me ayudó a que pudiera hacer todo eso, a que me dejara hacer todo eso, because she was there, like ella me empujaba, me daba la fuerza de querer, like, oh, I need to be better because I need to be there for my niece and my nephew. At that time, I only had her and my nephew. They were the smallest one, and then I have another niece, but she was older. She was already 7 when I was diagnosed with lupus, and her mom moved to San Antonio, and they've been there since then. They've been in San Antonio. Hey, Miss Yaya, ¿cómo está? Ay, Miss Yaya, ay, se me querían salir las lágrimas con Pablo. I'll be praying. You don't forget, guys, tomorrow we're going to be having Inspirational Wednesday. I went to the store today, but I forgot to get the candle. But it's okay, porque mañana va a venir Miss Velda por mí muy temprano, and Miss Velda is going to take me to HEB to go buy a candle. So we can do the Inspirational Wednesday. And ay, Miss Yaya, you'll be in our prayer. I know how you feel. Llegamos a querer, si nosotros, that you would share your shorts or your little clips of your pets, Miss Yaya. Nos encariñamos con él, me imagino cómo se encariñó usted y su familia con el pobre Pablo. But like you said, he probably gave his life to defend the other two, or a defender su mujer. Él la defendió. Yes. I hope que no me vaya la gripa porque I'm getting like congestion. Y como que me anda aquí, como que me ha estado doliendo. So I hope I don't get sick. I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get sick. I don't need to get sick. I don't need to get sick right now. I have a lot, like this week, I have several things that I need to do. Remember, ya se acerca la pelea de Bronco con el Z-Man. Don't forget to get your tickets. Ya no hay mesas. Ya no hay abajo, like ya nomás hay $50 tickets. Pero no se les olvide apoyar a Mr. Bronco 956. ¡Hua! Yes, Scarlett. Yeah, fíjese que no tengo limón. And like I said, I went earlier to the store, but I went a dar el pago, agarrar lo que I had on the top of my brain, and I forgot the candle and I forgot the lemons. I was supposed to bring lemons because Miss Yaya, ¿usted no hace el del jarrón con los limones para absorber la mala energía? Well, it's been already 5 days that I have my jarrón and everything, pero no he comprado limones, so I need to buy limones para ponerlos adentro del jarrón. But yes, so I'll probably go live around 1 or 2. I'll go live and we can do our Inspirational Wednesday. You now put the candle. Yes, see if you want to give thanks for your blessings. If you want to ask for a prayer, ya saben. If you want to share it with me through DM, that's great. If not, ustedes tienen esa conexión con Dios. Ustedes solitos le pueden pedir y saben lo que van a pedirle a Dios. And God, where did I leave that? I think the provider already threw it because I had it in that table. Because I hadn't thrown the yellow candle. Quedó limpiecita, guys. Se acabó toda y quedó limpiecita y se acabó en 3 días. Like, se acabó de volada. So we'll see mañana cuando prendamos la otra vela, a ver cómo nos va con esta. But thank you so much. Thank you to everybody that was here tonight. Thank you for spending some time with me. Y pues listening to my story. Listening to my story. Primeramente Dios, like I said, we'll see you tomorrow with Inspirational Wednesday. Probably around 1 or 2. Tomorrow my kids have an early release day. They get out at 12:30. So I'll have them here early. Hi, wine lady. Your name is Ana too, wine lady. Ay, pues bienvenida, tocaya. Bienvenida. I think que si nos enfocamos más en las cosas de Dios, like Miss Angie, she's sharing her verses, biblical verses and stuff with us. Y si nos ponemos más a orar, maybe that's what it's going to take para calmar todo este odio y todo esto. Instead of paying attention and going back and forth, mejor ponernos a orar y poner a Dios. And maybe that's one way that this can calm down and slow down. Pues yo desde hoy estoy poniendo yo a Miss Velda que Diosito me la guíe, me la cuide, porque necesitamos que sea una mayor y traiga cambios. Ay, sí, Miss Wine Lady, todos, ay, de que todos ya nos encariñado con Pablito, pero ay, Pablito, mi bebé, yo no sé qué voy a hacer el día que ya no tenga esta cosita hermosa. Miss Velda lo va a llevar para almorzar mañana. Y pelea con Miss Velda. ¿Ustedes vieron? Le volteó la cara. Le volteó la cara a Miss Velda. Look at his big paws. Yo me quedo sorprendida en las paws. Un poquito cochino, pero les digo que necesita un baño. He has big paws. Ese ultra bebé. He has big paws. Yes, that's Mr. Ultra Bebé. I had Corona. I had Corona, Modelo y Bud Light. Y ya nomás me quedó Ultra Bebé. Pero entonces, que Diosito me las bendiga. Las miro mañana. Que ya saben, don't forget to give your thumbs up. If you see the replay, don't forget to put replay. And don't forget your like. God willing, nos vemos mañana. We'll do the Inspirational Wednesday. Get your prayers, your intentions ready so you can come and pray with us. Y las veo mañana. Ya saben, yo les mando un besote. Ustedes saben dónde se lo ponen. Yo nomás se los mando. El besote. Ustedes saben dónde lo van a poner o qué van a hacer con él. Y las miro. Yes, Miss Yaya, you too, stay warm. And, y pues ahora vamos a tener que buscar un anero o algo para proteger a esos otros gallinita y gallito. Porque no queremos que ese falcon vaya a venir por ellos. Ay, guys, I shouldn't have had dinner. Right? I shouldn't have. Voy a estar ahora repite y luego tomando soda. También, más gas. Échale más gas, Ana, y échale más azúcar. I'm excited because I'm going to learn a lot. Because, I'm going to be there first in line with Ms. Velda to help her out. And I'm excited porque I'm sure that I'm going to learn a lot. I've never... Well, my brother does. My brother has helped, and my brother, he's out to all of that. Pero pues yo con mis Velda voy a aprender. A lo mejor al rato yo también me aviento para algo así como, no sé, gobernadora o presidenta, no sé todavía, pero al rato a lo mejor yo también me animo de aventarme para algo. Bueno, que pasen buena noche. Primeramente Dios, I'll see you all tomorrow with our Inspirational Wednesday. Mayor Velda, yes, Miss Mayor Velda. Ya saben, para todos ustedes que me levantan falsos, que hablan mal de mí, que me desean mal, yo de todo corazón les deseo que todo eso se les devuelva para atrás y se les multiplique 70 veces 7. Les quiero mucho. Bye. I'll see you all tomorrow, guys.